Hi, I'm Will Becton.
And I'm Amber Becton.
We've been married for a while now.
We do count the years. We are very happy to be releasing the first episode of our new podcast, Jett Road Studios Presents, which is all pilots.
That's right. Every episode is a pilot for a completely different show. It's a bit of an experiment meant to showcase our talented friends.
Today, we present a pilot for the podcast read-through. In this episode, we hear a table read for the animated pilot, Gawayne The Arrogant.
Of Orlando.
Written by Larry Sullivan.
The showrunner is Tim Saccardo.
Jett Road Studios presents
Read-through.
Hey guys, on page 12, there's one little thing where we have...
So Larry, if you want to go on headphones.
A cheat that usually works when you're not on a podcast is putting stage direction inside a parenthetical. It says Jeremy to the bottle, us sorry, and then Barb hugging bottle. I'm gonna say that. I'll say Barb hopes up her wine bottle. Oh. Jeremy speaks to it, letting you guys know that. And you can
cool.
Oh, I thought I was going to have to whisper to the bottle.
To the bottle.
All right, so let's do mic check for everybody one at a time. Andre, do you mind saying something?
No, I don't mind saying something. Hello.
Katherine.
Hello. It's Katherine with a K. Get it right. Royal trash.
Seth.
Hello, hi, I'm here too.
Cool.
This is what I sound like. Is that good? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Tim.
Hey, it's Tim over here, saying the words that are coming out of Tim's mouth.
Nice. Levi.
Hey, this is Levi, just sitting over here on a chair.
Larry.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, you can be right up on that.
Right up on it.
Good. Julie Brister.
Hi, I'm Julie Brister. I am here sitting in a chair.
And Cronin.
Chosen last, as always. I will start with the wedge salad, and then I'll have I think I'm going to go for the French dip, and unless anyone else wants anything to share.
French dip takes like a half an hour.
I'd share an artichoke, the grilled artichoke.
Grilled artichoke as well.
Okay.
So I'm going to introduce just the overall show, which is Jett Road Studios Presents, and then I'm going to throw to Larry.
By the way, I'm paranoid now. Do I want the mic pointed like this or like...
As long as you're thinking about it the entire time, you're doing it.
Yeah. No, I'll just ask before each line.
Yeah, you want to be like...
That's good. That's good.
Tim, how do you want me to describe you?
It's just like the way my mom would, maybe. Lovingly and a little exaggerated.
All right, cool. So everybody feel comfortable?
Yes.
Do you guys pronounce it juiced or joust? 5 years I've been waiting to make that joke. Come on.
We didn't screen for Canadians.
Yeah, I marked the sorries.
All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Jett Road Studios Presents. This is a pilot for the podcast Read Through. I'm happy to welcome Larry Sullivan.
Hey, Will, thanks for having me here. I'm excited to read this script, Gawayne The Arrogant of Orlando, that I wrote about a actual medieval knight who ends up working at a medieval times dinner theater in Orlando, Florida. Helping us out today with our stage direction is my showrunner, friend, and fellow former Conan intern, Tim Saccardo.
Hi, Tim Saccardo here. Showrunner sounds like a big job until you get somewhere and you just read a bunch of stage directions. But I also get to introduce our cast. Playing Gawayne, we have Andrés de Bouchet.
Hello there.
Playing Leland, we have Seth Morris.
Hi.
Jeremy is played by Levi MacDougall.
Hello.
Playing Crystal, Katherine Blanford.
Yoo-hoo.
Colt will be voiced by Dan Cronin.
Hey, what's up?
And Barb is Julie Brister.
Too much, Shan. Too much.
I feel like I didn't say enough.
See how the audience was doing as well.
Can we start over?
Thought I'd check in with everyone.
And our story begins the same way all amazing stories begin, with a once upon a time. We are at a torchlit battlefield at night. 2 knights, silver and blue, based on their coat of arms, are engaged in an epic sword fight for the hand of the princess, who stands on a royal viewing platform with her father, the king. For every precision strike, a precision counter, muscle on muscle, steel on steel, neither warrior giving an inch, until Silver delivers a vicious blow that sends Blue's sword skittering across the dirt. Desperate, Blue throws a handful of sand in Silver's face, but Silver expertly uses his sword to bat the sand back into Blue's eyes. Blinded, Blue lunges to retrieve his sword, but Silver's blade at his neck gives him pause.
Remove your helmet and surrender.
Blue reluctantly pulls off his helmet and scowls at Silver.
You boorish, disgusting pool of rhinoceros piddle! You downtrodden, insignificant dung beetle! If you think the princess loves you, you're even dumber than you look! Also, I just really hate you as a person.
Close on the Silver Knight as he slowly, dramatically removes his helmet and shakes out a head of the best goddamn hair you've ever seen to reveal Gawayne the Arrogant. Dashing, narcissistic, ageless, the Kingslayer Jaime Lannister meets Ron Burgundy.
Bit of advice. Don't get too obsessed with one girl. You're liable to...
In one swift motion, Gawayne decapitates the Blue Knight.
Lose your head! Ha-ha!
Gasps from off-screen. Pull back to reveal we're not in actual medieval times, but in the arena at a medieval times dinner theater. Paper crowns and goblets of Fanta go flying as the audience runs screaming. Angle on the king and princess.
Christ, not again.
Gawayne looks from the Blue Knight's severed head and still twitching, blood-spurting corpse to the crowd trampling each other trying to escape.
Wait, you're going to miss the part where I shove his head onto a stake and parade it around.
And we launch into our main title sequence, where with the help of a catchy theme song and awesome graphics, we learn the story of Gawayne the Arrogant. How he pissed off an evil wizard by banging his wife, and thanks to said wizard's curse, was banished to modern-day Orlando, Florida, where he works at medieval times. Sure, he'd love to find his way back and kill that fucking wizard, but in the meantime, he's content to relax, catch some rays, and go medieval on as many Orlando area hotties as possible. Go, Gawayne, go! We are outside medieval times in an establishing shot. It's a typical Orlando strip mall with a vape shop, a discount dentist, and an alligator poking through a trash can. Cutting inside to the medieval times locker room, the king, better known as Leland, late 50s, beaten down, paces in front of his employees, including the princess, a.k.a. Crystal, 20s, a gorgeous dirtbag. Gawayne, face streaked with the Blue Knight's blood, holds a bejeweled goblet which Jeremy, 15, skittish, dressed as a squire, fills with wine.
In neither my acting studies at Juilliard nor my medieval times management training did I learn how to cover up murder. But luckily, I was able to buy every customer's silence with eternal fellowship passes.
So they agreed not to report a homicide in exchange for free popcorn shrimp?
Free popcorn shrimp for life, Jeremy.
Another fairy tale ending. Good show, everyone.
Not so fast, Gawayne. I get that you're from a barbaric yesteryear where murder is celebrated, but here at Medieval Times Orlando, it's bad for business. And if this place goes under, I'll be living in my La Sabra.
He threw sand at me, Leland. Called me rhinoceros piddle. And last week he pretended to hold the elevator for Gawayne, but was hitting the close button the entire time. Besides, Crystal liked it. Practically creamed her pantaloons.
You couldn't handle what's in these pantaloons. And I have a boyfriend.
Gawayne grabs his bloody sword.
I could change that if you want.
Gawayne, no more dead bodies. Are we clear?
Fine.
Promise?
I promise, no more dead bodies.
Leland opens his locker and a dead falconer tumbles out, followed by a screeching falcon which crashes into the opposite wall in an explosion of feathers.
Starting now.
And we cut outside to the woods behind Medieval Times at night, where Jeremy digs graves for the Blue Knight, the falconer, and his falcon, while Gawayne relieves himself against a tree.
Leland is the worst. Too bad that falcon didn't crash into his balls and finish what his ex-wife's lawyer started. Am I right?
Gawayne, I'm honored you always let me bury your victims, but you're kind of spraying everywhere, including my limited edition Luke Skywalker Crocs, a.k.a. my Luke Skycrackers.
Jeremy, sometimes when a man kills another man, the adrenaline rush is so intense it produces an arousal that can last hours, even days. You ever try peeing while aroused?
I'm a horny teenage virgin. I do everything while aroused.
Try peeing while aroused after taking another man's life, and then we'll talk.
Speaking of aroused, there's this girl at school I'm trying to impress, Tammy, and I may have told her I work at Medieval Times as a knight instead of a squire and that I have a big joust in 2 days.
You? Preposterous! Did she spit in your lying face and report you to the church as a vessel of Satan?
She said she'd try to come by.
Really? Leland's okay with this?
I signed the liability release and organ donor forms this morning.
This realm is for the birds.
The thing is, you're like the best knight who ever lived.
True.
And you've been staying with me and my mom rent-free ever since you magically appeared in my closet, so I was hoping maybe you'd teach me how to joust.
Seriously? Have you ever been on a horse?
Yeah, once, kind of.
We flash back to exterior grocery store day. 10-year-old Jeremy rides a coin-operated horse while a creepy man with a sack of quarters watches him intently.
Mister, where did my mom say she had to go again?
No talking. Talking ruins it.
Frustrated, he grabs more quarters and feeds the ride.
Now we have to start all over.
Back to the woods in present day where Gawayne and Jeremy are as they were.
Jeremy, I'm going to do you a huge favor and say no.
What? Why?
You're already in the enviable position of being a squire to the greatest knight in the land, me, and me is already 100% focused on a quest, getting all the way up inside Crystal in a very serious way.
Crystal, but you work together. I mean, haven't you heard the rule, don't poop where you eat?
Jeremy, where I'm from, the rule is only poop where you eat. Otherwise, you might accidentally eat someone else's poop.
Jeremy's about to ask a question, but thinks better of it.
Besides, Crystal reminds me of a wood nymph I was obsessed with, blindingly beautiful, with a laugh that played over and over in your head, like the greatest love song ever written, until you slowly went insane. In a good way.
Wow. What was her name?
Kestel. Or was it Aruthisa? No, that's not it. Maybe Echo? Might have been Echo.
Then, off in the distance,
Colt Peppermill, you lying sack of gator shit!
Hark! I hear a songbird!
and we cut to the parking lot of Medieval Times, where Crystal is arguing with her boyfriend Colt Peppermill, 20s, tan, cut and cocky. He's wearing cowboy boots, a leather vest with fringe, and a banana hammock that looks like a chicken.
You promised we were getting out of this distressed donkey's anus of a city, but instead you took a job at that Hooters for women?
Ding-a-Wings is not a Hooters for women. It's a family restaurant that happens to attract bored housewives and elderly gay men.
Who pay extra to do body shots after your sick abs?
How the hell else do you expect me to pay for my Curves membership?
Curves is a gym for women.
Who come to Ding-a-Wings and do body shots off my sick abs in exchange for guest passes to Curves. It's a circle of life, Crystal.
Gawayne approaches with Jeremy and sneers at Colt.
Colt Peppermill.
Gawayne the Arrogant. It's getting late. Shouldn't you and Frodo be heading back to the Shire?
I don't get that reference, but I bet it's lame and lazy. Like your workout routine. Good grief, when's the baby due?
Take that back.
Make me, fatty.
Colt gets in Gawayne's face.
Oh, I would love to, but if I rip another banana hammock in a non-work-related incident, Ding-a-Wings LLC is going to dock my pay. Crystal, we'll finish our combo later.
Colt adjusts his banana hammock and struts off.
God, he's such a dick sometimes. Bitch boy's gotta learn a lesson.
Fine, I'll help you.
Help me how?
I'll go out with you to make Colt jealous. Think of how crazy it would make him. He'd probably throw himself in front of a bus and explode into 1,000 pieces.
You're forgetting something. You make me want to hurl. You're ignorant, sexist, selfish. In fact, I've never seen your ass help anyone.
That is not true.
All eyes on Gawayne. It kinda is.
What about that hobo I let choke to death outside of Golden Corral instead of saving his life and forcing him to resume his miserable existence? Can't wait to hear how that wasn't helping him.
You wouldn't go near him because you said he smelled like a burning bag of skunk dicks.
Because he did!
Good night, Gawayne.
Crystal turns and walks off.
Come on. Think, Gawayne. There's got to be a way to convince Crystal that you're not incredibly selfish.
You could teach me to joust.
I could, but what's in that for me? Oh, wait, I've got it. Come, young Jeremy. There's much to do and little time to do it.
Gawayne marches off on a mission. Jeremy calls off to him.
But, Gawayne, we never finished burying those bodies.
And we cut to outside Crystal's apartment later that night. It's a rundown complex painted bright pastel pink. On the front lawn is a single sad palm tree with a kiddie pool underneath. Nearby, an unsupervised baby crawls around. We cut inside Crystal's apartment as she enters, walking past travel posters on her wall from other Florida towns, Miami, Pensacola, Panama City. She stops in her tracks when she hears noises from the bedroom.
Hello? Cole, is that you?
We cut into Crystal's bedroom as she enters and sees that her room's been transformed into a medieval orgy. Fire eaters, snake handlers, fornicating concubines, a monkey dressed like a court jester juggling golden apples.
Guess again.
Gawayne lounges naked in Crystal's bed, eating grapes and drinking wine. A white tiger is chained to the foot of the bed while Jeremy tends to a wild boar roasting on a spit.
Welcome to the Pleasure Dome.
Jeremy's arm briefly catches fire, but he pats it out.
The hell's going on here?
You called Gawayne selfish, so I'm proving you wrong. You're welcome.
Your idea of not being selfish is sneaking into my apartment and trying to start an orgy?
Trying? It's in full swing. Quick, hop into bed so Jeremy can take a few candid nudes to send to Colt. That'll put a bat in his belfry.
I'm calling the cops.
God, you're a breath of fresh air. Any other woman would be on her knees begging Gawayne to do his worst. But you're different, unique, like a magical snowflake with a rear end that will not quit. Just like... Wait, I got it. Ereshkigal. Her name was sort of Ereshkigal.
Yeah, I'd like to report a moron trying to seduce me.
Not cool, Crystal. Jeremy, strike the Pleasure Dome.
Gawayne grabs his armor and hurries out. The white tiger snaps free from its chains, grabs the juggling monkey in its jaws, and smashes through Crystal's bedroom window. And we cut to the next morning outside Jeremy's house. It's one story. Someone overdid it with the garden gnomes, and the recycling bin is overflowing with empty wine bottles.
Last night was a disaster.
Gawayne and Jeremy are on a couch playing a video game called Joey Chestnut's Wiener Take-All Competitive Eating.
Tell me about it. I was up all night putting up missing tiger posters.
And what of the monkey?
Jeremy somberly holds up a tiny blood-soaked jester's outfit. His mom, Barb, 40s, a wild card, enters wearing a kimono, carrying a bottle of wine and a half-empty glass.
Morning, boys.
Miss Limroyd?
Don't know about you, but I'm starving.
Barb tops off her glasses and takes a big gulp.
By the way, I almost spilled my rosé when I tripped on a 20-sided die someone left in the hallway.
Oh, sorry. My fault.
Don't apologize to me, Jeremy.
Barb holds up her wine bottle. Jeremy talks to it.
Sorry.
Barb hugs the bottle.
Better.
Frustrated, Gawayne throws down his controller.
Vanquishing Joey Chestnut is impossible. The man is a fucking pig with a bottomless demon stomach.
What's up with you?
I can't focus. I'm too distracted trying to solve the puzzle that is Crystal.
Oh, who's Crystal?
A girl at work. Gawayne's trying to convince her to go out with him to make her boyfriend jealous.
Only until she realizes how foolish she is for being with him in the first place and falls under Gawayne's spell.
Sounds like a lot of work to me. You know, Gawayne, if you're ever looking for something less messy, and by less I mean more, you know where to find me.
Mom, I'm literally right here.
Oh, grow up. I'm not just your mother. I'm also a human being that needs connection and a little playful choking every now and then.
Gross. Gawayne, maybe the problem with Crystal is your approach.
My approach is flawless. Countless maidens from every corner of the 9 kingdoms have been brought to orgasm by the mere mention of my name.
Is that so? Gawayne.
Mm.
Gawayne. Gawayne.
Ugh. Gawayne is out of here.
Oh, yeah, that last one did it. Ooh, who says chivalry ain't dead?
Gawayne gets up to leave, but Barb's words spark an idea.
Chivalry. Yes, a dish best served sexy. Come, young Jeremy, we have a stop on the way to work.
We cut to outside Crystal's apartment. Colt sits out front in his cherry Camaro convertible, blasting poisons, nothing but a good time. The unsupervised baby sits in the kiddie pool staring at him. Crystal storms outside.
Turn it down, dummy! You're gonna get me evicted again!
Colt turns off the music and rests his arm on the open window like a cool guy.
Yo, babe. Last night was stupid. I don't want to fight. Get in. I'll drive you to work.
Off-screen, we hear a horse's whinny. Pull back to reveal Gawayne the Arrogant atop his mighty steed, gnawing on a massive turkey leg. Jeremy sits behind Gawayne wearing a bike helmet and hugging his midsection.
Lady Crystal, I thought you'd like to ride to work on something with real horsepower.
Yeah, that's ridden by a real horse's ass.
You kiss your mother with that mouth.
Agnes Peppermill's in a coma, and you know it.
Crystal stomps up to Gawayne and speaks through clenched teeth.
The answer is still no, Gawayne.
Too late. Operation Jealous Colt has commenced. Quick, hop on. He'll lose his fucking marbles.
I don't want your help, Sir Shit for Brains. You don't care about anyone but you.
Gawayne, can we go? The saddle made my testes go numb again.
Gawayne looks back at Jeremy, who's shifting uncomfortably.
Of all the squires in the multiverse, Gawayne ends up with a worthless little... Turns the page. Apprentice? Yes, apprentice. You see, Crystal, you're wrong. Gawayne does care about someone else besides Gawayne, and his name is not Gawayne. It is Gawayne's squire.
You mean Jeremy?
Oh, yes. In fact, I'm teaching Jeremy to joust in order to impress a girl.
But you said, oh.
Gawayne shoves the giant turkey leg in Jeremy's mouth.
Really? That's sweet, I guess.
Maybe there's more to Gawayne than dashing good looks and an unquenchable bloodlust, milady.
He extends a hand down to Crystal.
My lady, huh?
The fairest of them all.
Crystal, do not get on that horse.
Are you seriously telling me what to do?
I think he is.
Crystal climbs up on the horse. Now she's behind Gawayne and Jeremy is behind her.
Damn it, Crystal, what got into you?
Crystal wraps her arms around Gawayne's waist.
I'm with Gawayne now. Deal with it.
Yeah, deal with it, Peppermill. Also, from up here, it's clear your hair is thinning, so deal with that, too. Yeah!
He slaps the horse and they gallop off. Colt checks his hair in the rear view, then hears a growl from the back seat. He turns and comes face to face with the escaped white tiger from Gawayne's orgy.
What is happening?
We cut to outside medieval times where a strip mall security guard is handcuffing an alligator. Then we cut inside to Leland's office. It's cramped, depressing, and Leland clearly lives there. He naps on a ratty couch. His king's crown is pulled over his eyes, and he uses his robe as a blanket. We push in on him entering Leland's dream. A tiny, shriveled Leland kneels before an enormous, powerful woman, groveling.
Please, oh please, take me back, Wanda Gale. I still love you, even though you divorced me and convinced our kids I masterminded January 6th.
The enormous woman scrolls through her phone, ignoring him. Then Leland hears a sick 80s guitar riff and turns to see Hulk fucking Hogan.
Professional wrestling legend and my personal hero, Hulk Hogan?
Leland, brother, I know things seem tough right now, but let me tell you something, brother. That's my Hulk Hogan. Roll with it. Life might throw you a few body slams, brother. Suplexes, pile drivers, backbreakers, full Nelsons, drop kicks, figure four leg locks, atomic drops, step over toe holds.
Okay.
Point is, brother, Hulkamania is running wild in your veins. And even though this divorce feels like the end of the world, the steel cage match of life isn't over, brother. So say your prayers, brother, eat your vitamins, brother, and fight back with everything you've got.
Somewhere, a horse whinnies. Leland shoots awake from his dream, energized and inspired.
Fight back, I will, Hulk. Fight back, I will.
We cut to medieval times arena, where we're close on Gawayne giving an inspirational speech.
You stand before me. Sorry. I almost started talking like hulking. You stand before me, not a squire, but a knight in training. The joust isn't just a test of skill and strength, but of character and courage. In the heat of the moment, when the crowd roars, stay focused and true to yourself. Steel your resolve and let the thunder of hooves and the clash of lances be your battle cry. Conquer the joust and write your legend in the annals of chivalry.
I feel like that was on purpose.
Yep.
Angle on Jeremy, struggling to mount an ill-tempered horse. Crystal watches, shaking her head. This isn't going well.
I don't know, Gawayne. Maybe we should try another horse?
Don't talk like that in front of Skull Crusher. He's very sensitive.
Crystal shoots Gawayne a disapproving look. Gawayne takes a deep breath and tries a different, friendlier tact.
Funny thing is, you and old Skull Crusher here aren't so different.
We're not?
Gawayne gently strokes Skull Crusher's muzzle.
Skull Crusher is a free and independent soul. And isn't freedom something you also seek, young Jeremy? Freedom from your virginity?
Jeremy glances at Crystal, embarrassed.
Jeez, not so loud. But yes.
Now that you understand each other, try again. And this time, be the horse. And let the horse be you.
Jeremy tries mounting Skull Crusher again. He starts to struggle. He might not make it. But then...
It worked! I did it!
Damn, Gawayne, that was dope.
If you think that's impressive, stick around while I teach Jeremy how to remove his defeated opponent's still-beating heart.
Maybe later. Colt shift starts soon, so get in fake boyfriend mode and let's go make that low-rent gigolo squirm.
And after we drive him mad with jealousy, then can we maybe remove his still-beating heart?
Let's talk about it on the way.
As they walk off, Gawayne victoriously slaps Skull Crusher on the ass. The horse bucks wildly and takes off across the arena with Jeremy holding onto its tail for dear life.
Gawayne, little help!
We cut to outside Ding-a-Wing's restaurant at night. It's in the same strip mall as medieval times. A large neon sign featuring a chicken with a six-pack abs thrusting its hip back and forth, and with each thrust, the name Ding-a-Wings lights up. We cut inside the restaurant where scantily clad all-male waitstaff serves chicken wings to tables of lonely housewives and elderly gay men. At one table, a family with young children sits in uncomfortable silence. Gawayne and Crystal share a booth.
We have a place like this where I'm from. It's called the Gaping Mouth of Hell.
Here comes Colt. Start flirting.
Gawayne clears his throat as Colt approaches.
Oh, goodness, Crystal. Your heaving melon-like breasts are looking spectacular as usual.
Why, thank you, Gawayne. It's so thoughtful of you to notice my heaving breasts. So excited to take them with us to Miami this weekend.
Yes, seeing more of this underwhelming world is important to you, so it's important to me too.
Colt stands before them with the help of a crutch covered in scratches, wearing a neck brace. One eye won't stop twitching. He drops a basket of fried pickles on their table.
Bad evening to you both. May I take and then intentionally fuck up your orders?
Colt, what the hell happened?
Oh, no biggie. I was just mauled by a rare albino tiger. Good news, the doctors say I'll regain most of my vision. Bad news, I'll no longer be able to tell the difference between blue and purple.
Ah, sucks. I know how much you love blue and hate purple.
Like you care.
Please, milady, don't fraternize with the help. Allow me to order for us both.
Wow, such a gentleman.
Colt grits his teeth. Gawayne turns to him.
The lady will have the peacock stew, and I'll have the loin of wild boar, a gosling pie, hold the exotic spices, and a glass of your finest mead. Go on now. Get out of our sight, you miserable wretch.
This is a chicken wing joint, you Game of Thrones reject.
Gawayne takes a lock of Crystal's hair and sniffs it.
Do you see how he talks to Gawayne?
So rude.
I'd like to speak to the manager.
I am the manager. I'll be right back with some waters that I will definitely spit in.
Colt angrily hobbles off. Crystal is giddy.
That was awesome. Let's kick it up a notch. Quick, pickle me.
Crystal cozies up to Gawayne and hands him the fried pickles. He offers her one as Colt limps back with waters.
A pickle, fair maiden?
How thoughtful of you, Gawayne. You sure know how to treat a lady.
Colt slams the waters down on the table.
Why are you doing this, Crystal?
Doing what? Having an amazing date with my romantic-ass boyfriend?
Gawayne feeds Crystal a fried pickle, which she eats from his hand without breaking eye contact with Colt.
No, acting like a slut.
Crystal takes it up a notch, sucking on Gawayne's finger.
Uh-oh.
Bam! Gawayne gets a pixelated erection so massive it knocks over the table. Restaurant customers gasp.
Sorry, everyone. I have a thing about getting my fingers sucked. By women, to be clear. And the occasional centaur.
An elderly gay customer approaches Colt and points at Gawayne.
Excuse me, can he be our waiter?
Oh, sit the fuck back down, Richard.
Colt limps off, cursing under his breath. Crystal drops a napkin over Gawayne's exposed boner, and they share a victorious high five. Angle on the family with young kids.
Worst birthday ever.
His wife takes a quick phone pic of Gawayne on the sly, and we cut to the Medieval Times locker room the next day, where Gawayne drinks from a wine goblet and Jeremy polishes his armor.
You know, I haven't been impressed much by Orlando, but this Carlo Rossi fellow makes the finest wine that's ever passed through these lips. Even better than that of the Farmer Boone.
Yeah, that's great, Gawayne. So now that I can mount a horse without it killing me, I was thinking we could move on to actual joust stuff.
Crystal rushes up to Gawayne, ecstatic.
Last night ruled. Colt won't stop texting me. He's losing his mind.
And I received many phone numbers on the way out, so that's cool too.
Crystal gets an alert on her phone.
OMG. My friend who works at Panda Express at the mall says Colt is doing rehab laughs with a band of boomers. Let's go rub our fake relationship in his face some more.
Crystal runs off, excited.
Yes, Gawayne loves them all. Right behind you, Crystal.
But you're supposed to train me for my joust, and you hate them all.
Fine. Here's some joust homework while I'm trying to lance Crystal. Do a bunch of jousting. Ride around with a lance and poke it about. Fare thee well.
Gawayne runs off after Crystal. Jeremy is frustrated. We are outside Medieval Times the next day. The unsupervised baby from outside Crystal's apartment rides past on the white tiger. And then we cut inside to Medieval Times in the arena, where Gawayne and the Red Knight duel in front of a packed house. Gawayne disarms the Red Knight and shoves him to the ground.
Mercy, mercy, my lord, please.
And why wouldn't Gawayne show you mercy on such a glorious day as this, old friend?
Old friend. Yesterday, when I took the last Nutty Buddy from the vending machine, you told me you were going to put me in something called a Judas cradle and juice me like an orange through my anus.
Gawayne chuckles heartily.
Breathe easy. There'll be no anal juicing today.
Gawayne drives his sword into the ground.
Mercy is granted.
Angle on the Red Knight's foot, which has Gawayne's sword driven through it, pinning it to the ground. His agonizing screams are drowned out by the audience's cheers. We cut into the medieval times locker room later. Gawayne wears his new pink polo stretched over his armor, collar fucking popped. He's using an ornate dagger to carve his and Crystal's names into a bench when Leland enters.
Congrats, Gawayne. No murders today. Not sure what's got into you, but keep it up, brother.
What's got into me, Leland, is love. The love of a beautiful woman who gets me. I mean, really understands Gawayne, warts and all. But not the genital variety, no. Those I get burned off by an alchemist before they fester and spread.
Wait, did you say genital warts?
Mm-hmm.
If I know my ex-wife, she'd hate having genital warts, or even thinking she has genital warts.
Jeremy storms up and gets in Gawayne's face.
You're a terrible friend.
Here we go.
My joust is tonight, and you promised to teach me, but all you've done is use me to get with Crystal. Meanwhile, she's turned you into a little bitch. Look at you.
Jeremy, Gawayne is evolving. Crystal's given me a thirst for life I didn't know was possible. I want to learn a new language, plant a tree, adopt a highway.
You're just helping her make Colt jealous. That was the deal.
The deal has changed. Now, if you'll excuse me, Crystal asked me to swing by her place and fix her plumbing. Of course, I came from a world in which plumbing doesn't exist, so I have much to learn. To Home Depot!
Gawayne charges off. Jeremy seethes. Angle on the Red Knight, who sits at his locker, foot bandaged, talking on the phone.
Well, the doctor says I'll have a horrific limp for the rest of my life, but... No, I know. But I'm still the same man you fell in love with and married. Yeah, no, I did give you a kidney. No, I understand.
Red Knight hangs up and turns to Jeremy.
Hey, kid, I'll teach you everything I know about jousting if you convince my wife not to leave me for our twins kazoo teacher.
I don't think I should get involved.
We cut outside Crystal's apartment where Gawayne carries a plunger, wrench, and drain snake. He's wearing coveralls over his pink polo and armor. He knocks. Crystal answers the door wearing just an oversized Iron Maiden Metal for Mother's tour t-shirt.
I got here as soon as I could. Now let's fix that plumbing.
Cutting inside Crystal's apartment, Crystal smiles coyly and steps aside, letting Gawayne enter.
You know, Gawayne, I didn't ask you over to actually fix my plumbing.
Really? Shit. Now I'm absolutely regretting buying this drain snake instead of just renting it.
Crystal runs her hand over Gawayne's bicep.
Over the past few days, you've surprised me. When we started driving Colt insane with jealousy, I never thought this thing between us might become real AF.
My God. Hearing you say that is like oral, but for my ears.
Turns out there's an actual heart under all that armor. The way you've helped me neuter Colt, the way you're helping Jeremy lose his V card.
A flash of guilt from Gawayne as Crystal takes his hand.
Make love to me, Gawayne the Arrogant. Make love to me. I don't know how to say it.
Oh, it's better that way.
Arrogant.
That's great.
Gawayne the Arrogant. Make love to me until the sun comes up or our junk spontaneously combusts, whichever comes first.
So, fix my plumbing has meant sex this whole time?
We cut to inside the medieval times locker room. Jeremy, dressed in ill-fitting armor, paces nervously back and forth. Leland enters.
What the heck, Jeremy? You can't keep a medieval times crowd waiting like this, especially on Gold Night bobblehead night.
5 more minutes, Leland, please.
3. That's when those animals stop throwing garlic knots and start throwing punches. And punches are bad for business.
A loud trumpet signals the start of the show. We cut to inside the arena moments later. Jeremy clings to his horse for dear life as he's led out to a smattering of applause. He scans the crowd for Tammy, but gets distracted as the intimidating Gold Knight rides out. Leland, as king, addresses the crowd, overacting as usual.
Red leather, yellow leather, red... Hear ye, hear ye! 2 brave warriors shall display their skills for you, and in the end, only one will remain standing. Let the battle begin!
A trumpet charge rings as Jeremy and the Gold Knight gallop at each other, and Megadeth's Symphony of Destruction plays. Close on, Jeremy holding on for dear life. His ill-fitting helmet spins around, giving him no field of vision. Close on, the Gold Knight who pumps his fist at the crowd. Close on, the horse's hooves thundering. Close on, Gold Knight lowering his lance to strike. Close on, Jeremy lowering his lance, almost dropping it. Close on, Leland on his phone.
Want a gale? It's Leland. I have good news and bad news. Bad news, I have genital warts. Good news, you probably do too.
Angle on the specter of 1980s Hulk Hogan sitting in the crowd giving a thumbs up. Then close on Jeremy preparing for impact.
Please don't let me die a virgin. Please don't let me die a virgin. Please don't let me die.
The Gold Knight who takes his lance out of striking position and receives a direct hit from Jeremy to the balls. The knight tumbles off his horse and collapses with a thud. The crowd goes crazy. Jeremy lifts his visor. He fucking won. In the stands, the creepy man from Jeremy's coin-operated horse flashback is giving him a standing ovation.
I know him.
Angle on the Gold Knight who remains motionless. Jeremy kneels down and removes Gold's helmet to reveal...
Gawayne?
You are right, young Jeremy. I've been a terrible friend. I only hope you can forgive me.
Forgive you? You just saved me big time. But I thought you were Crystal's fixing her plumbing.
Turns out fixing her plumbing actually meant boning. Except before we got to boning, Gawayne realized he had already boned a dear friend, and not in a good way. BT Dubs, that friend is you.
Wait.
BT Dubs, that's what I call it.
Wait, you passed up a chance to sleep with Crystal to help me?
You know, hearing it back just now, it does sound incredibly stupid.
Well, don't just lay there. Let's get you back to Crystal. You got a quest to complete.
I'm not sure that's possible. I haven't been in this much pain down there since I went home with the she-goblin. It's true what they say. Those things are all teeth.
Someone once told me that in the heat of the moment, a knight stays focused and true to himself.
Well, whoever that someone is sounds incredibly smart and extremely good-looking. But what about the fair, Tammy? Well, what about the fair Tammy?
Oh, Tammy, yeah.
I'm talking to someone named Tammy who just showed up out of the blue. But what about the fair Tammy?
I'll just text her and see if we can meet up later.
You do that for Gawayne?
Hey, what are friends for?
Cut to the street at night where Jeremy races Gawayne's mighty steed down the street with confidence. Gawayne sits behind him with a big bag of party ice duct taped to his crotch.
I've become the horse, and the horse has become me.
Well done, but please, I beg you, no more speed bumps.
Jeremy taps out a text as he hits another speed bump.
Tammy, hope you enjoyed the show. Kind regards, Jeremy Flemroyd.
He hits send.
Jeremy, what you did tonight was reckless and incredibly stupid. You must really like this girl.
Yeah, I think she could be the one.
We cut to the woods where at the same time a high school keg party is happening. Kids drink and make out. A trashy girl snorts white powder while her friends watch impatiently.
Come on, Tammy, don't hag all the bath salts.
Relax, bitch. There's more in the car truck.
Tammy's phone buzzes. She checks it.
What the hell's a Jeremy Flemroyd?
We cut to Crystal's apartment outside. Jeremy stops the horse, and Gawayne gingerly dismounts.
Fetch me an hour while I get to work warming up Crystal's Pantaloon Lagoon.
Why an owl?
I'm able to last way longer if I maintain eye contact with an owl the entire time. Don't ask stupid questions!
He runs to Crystal's front door and knocks loudly.
I'm back, Crystal. I'm back to fix your plumbing, a.k.a. have junk combusting sex with you.
He notices a banana hammock that looks like a chicken dangling from the doorknob.
By God's bones!
The door opens. It's Crystal in a bathrobe. Behind her, Colt is in a towel. They're both sweaty. Colt chugs a Gatorade.
What's he doing here?
Look, Gawayne, we had fun, but only because I was trying to teach Colt a lesson. And when he showed up at my door with 2 VIP passes to Busch Gardens, Tampa...
And promising to wear a belly button dental dam when customers do body shots off me.
I finally felt like he put me first.
Crystal and Colt share a smile. Gawayne is speechless.
Good night, Gawayne.
You been peppermilled, son.
Colt uses his crutch to slam the door in Gawayne's face.
I've been peppermilled indeed.
Jeremy walks up to Gawayne with an owl on his shoulder.
Sorry you had to see that, Jeremy. I know you think of Gawayne as some kind of hero god who sleeps in the bunk above you.
Come on, Gawayne. Let's go home.
Gawayne nods. As the two friends head off...
So, what's your mom up to tonight? And how does she feel about owls?
Oh, Jesus.
Days later, we're outside of medieval times. The unsupervised baby sits atop the White Tiger in a parking lot holding a gun. They're in a tense standoff with authorities as a police helicopter circles overhead. But we're not going to pay attention to that because we are cutting inside to the locker room where Jeremy tends to Gawayne while Crystal tapes together a torn-in-half picture of her and Colt and hangs it in her locker.
Busch Gardens, Tampa was so rad. They don't let you bring booze on the roller coasters, but they don't check your purse either.
Ugh.
Leland enters, talking on his phone.
What's that, Wanda Gale? The free clinic says you don't have genital warts? Well, guess what? Neither do I. Looks like I wasted your time. Leland out.
He hangs up, extremely pleased with himself.
I have never felt more alive. Thank you, Hulk Hogan.
Everyone is confused about what just happened. Leland opens his locker. Another dead body falls out.
What in the hell?
Oh my God! It's Ton John Marbles, the Gold Knight!
Everyone immediately turns and looks at you-know-who.
Gawayne.
Starting now.
And we fade out the end of the pilot.
Yay!
It's great.
From the top.
Funny stuff.
Yeah, that might have been my favorite part.
Thank you, everybody.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
It was
you.
great.
That was fun.
You should feel arrogant about that.
I truly think it's funnier than you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
I only got 2 Kamala Harris texts while we were doing that.
That was Gawayne the Arrogant.
So funny. Man, everybody in that room.
I know what was fun because everybody seemed like they knew one another immediately, whether they did or not.
Well, there was plenty of overlap, but it was definitely a warm room, which is beneficial.
And it felt very organic.
Thank you very much for listening to the first episode of Jett Road Studios Presents.
Yes, thank you. If you can please rate and review the show, that would be much appreciated. You can also find us on Instagram, YouTube, or jetroadstudios.com, where you can sign up for the mailing list.
Yes, we have a lot of pilots in the works with collaborators we think highly of. Thank you for Larry Sullivan and Tim Saccardo for being very cool to work with, and the cast for the relentlessly funny performances.
We'll see you in like 2 weeks.
Jett Road Studios, where it's always pilot season.